in the last PPA North Carolina event, me and my partner Blaine Hovenier got a chance to play in the round of 16 against the #1 team in the world, which is Ben Johns and Gabe Tardio. I thought this would be a great opportunity to take you behind the scenes. We're going to go through game one of this match together. I'm going to kind of tell you what was going through my mind. I'm going to do some kind of strategy breakdown, and we're going to break it all down. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start things off, Blaine and I had talked about, Gabe and Ben are both very, very good attackers. And so we talked about kind of going into this match that we wanted to try to take offense first. We're going to play aggressive on our thirds. We're going to try to drive the ball when we could. We're going to try to play quick points. We're going to try to attack when we could, because if you let them settle in and kind of start dictating play, it can be very difficult. So here's the first point.
Back to serve first to Blaine Hovenier.
Yeah, we'll just say tall task for them to get another win on the day, but it is definitely doable. Actually, this is already slightly surprising to me, having Johnson Cola on the left side.
Point. And that's exactly what I'm talking about right off the bat. A little bit of a dead dink for me. Gabe's so good at finding spots that he's able to just find kind of my chicken wing spot, and I'm not able to counter it. That's always nice early in a match to get an unforced error on a third and just get the ball back without a lot of pressure, having to work too hard for a point. So now we got the ball. Let's see if we can make something happen.
Johnson Cola, one of the great teachers of the game as well.
Point. That's also nice. Gotta love a few freebies early in the game. Just kind of gets you settled in a little bit.
Amateurs out there on the board. Ooh.
So Blaine is known to have one of the biggest serves and drives in the game, and that's definitely something we're looking to capitalize on. So that play right there is exactly what we're looking for. Big drive from Blaine. I crashed. I had what I wanted. I just, missed it by a touch.
Out of the air from Ben. That's rare. But we're straight up.
Oh.
We're straight up.
Again, same thing. So let's go back there. Gabe's done this twice. I've talked about this a few times in my videos, but this spot, this high right shoulder spot, so difficult to defend, because typically when that ball's coming, we're looking to counter backhand. Even if it's right side but low, we can come across and hit it. But if you can hit it off speed, like Gabe's done twice now, once to me and once to Blaine, you can get that ball a little bit higher, and it's really difficult to cover unless you can flip to a forehand, which is tough to do as well.
Straight up.
Oh.
We're straight up for Hovenier and Sincola, and Hovenier wears one in the shoulder.
1-1-1.
Hovenier joining us in the broadcast booth last night with Dave Fleming. Just to hear the clear insight of the game, and there's Gabe.
Nice little 1-2 there. Ben with a great drive. Gabe's really good at coming forward and crashing.
So, he's all arms and legs, all athleticism, so much talent. I just love Gabe Tardio.
Full of pizza in his bones.
Skittles too.
Another thing that we had discussed is we wanted to return really well, because if we could return well, return the ball super deep, then their drives or thirds come a little bit difficult, and then we can get more points like that where we're in control.
You have to be raring to go from the jump.
That was a tough one. That's just an unforced error for me there. Can't miss that ball.
51 career titles to his name, 47 of those in men's doubles.
Again, same thing. Ben's looking to find that spot. He just hit it a touch too hard, but he's looking to find that kind of upper shoulder area. He hit it a touch too hard and kind of sailed it long. I was able to leave it.
What an angle from Ben Johns to the back.
So you can see we're doing a lot of driving on our third, looking for either maybe a pop-up or an easier fit.
Shot drop from that point of the court.
That's really good from Blaine. Again, I went off the drive. He crashed in, took a lot of middle court, and great extension and reach from him to be able to extend out and get those two backhands. Not easy shots there at all.
Hovenier.
Again, same thing. You can see most of our points right now are just coming in that transition area from us being aggressive on our thirds, either rolling the ball heavy, driving, and then looking to find something kind of quickly in the point.
Nice run yesterday in mixed too, was so close to getting to the quarters.
Again, same thing. This time I kind of did it all on my own with the drop, and then came in and had a little 1-2 pattern. Why don't we go back and look at that real quick? So I see that Ben is pinched over here to the middle a little bit, kind of trying to help protect Gabe when Gabe's coming in. And so I'm going to kind of take that space, and I decide to drop down his line. And then I know he's going to be in trouble because he's going to be kind of extended out towards that ball. So then I'm crashing in pretty hard because I see him have to step back. He goes down my line. I'm on the forehand. I decide to go cross his body. So no, I'm going forehand. When I go there, I have a sense that the ball, when I go forehand to forehand, there's a general idea that the ball is going to come back to my backhand. So you're going to see me go here and then right away switch to my backhand and look to sit on that shot. Forehand, he's a touch late on it here. You can see me here. I'm already sitting in my backhand side. So I'm ready for the ball to come back to my backhand. And then I'm able to clean that one up. So again, just another transition play. We really didn't want to get into extended dink rallies with them. So let's see, we're doing a lot of work in transition here.
Okay, Johnson Cola firing away cross body on my still best player in the world, Ben Johns. That is nice offense for Cola. Some people can argue, and I totally get that. Some of the performances we've seen from several others.
Good shot from Ben there. You could see he placed it really well. I was trying to transition in. He found that ball right at my feet and made that shot pretty difficult on me.
Ben's partner right now. It's a long list.
So there's another example where Blaine hits a great return, pins them both back deep, and then we're able to kind of keep control at that point and make their transition a lot more difficult. That's one key we definitely wanted to have in this match. So we're in a decent spot here. We're up 4-3. We got a quick side out. At this point, we're feeling, pretty good. We've kind of gotten into the match. So
Sincola again.
So that was a nice one. We can go back and look at that again. I was on defense for most of that point. Ben and Gabe are doing a nice job of extending me out. So we made our transition. We got to the net. Right away, you can see I'm stretched here. So I'm just going to be hitting kind of neutral defensive type dinks because I can't do anything from this position. So that's pretty defensive. Again, stretched. Ben keeps the pressure on. Pretty defensive again. Another one where I'm stretched. Ben's doing a nice job of placing these shots. I'm just kind of trying to make sure the ball bounces at this point, because if I pop one of these up even a little bit and they get the ball out of the air, we're in a lot of trouble. So I'm just trying to neutralize these dinks and make this ball bounce. Finally, I get one that's a little bit shallower, and so I know Ben can't really speed this ball up. And so you can see now I'm right up at the line and kind of looking for my own offense. Ben gives me a ball that I can finally reach out of the air, and I'm able to reach in and just poke it past Gabe there.
Sincola again finds the corner.
That wasn't even a full-on roll from Sincola, just poked it corner pocket. Gabe Tardio was nowhere to be seen.
5-3-1. Second serve.
So let's go back and look at that real quick. It's an underrated shot by Ben. So Blaine hits a nice serve as usual. We get a slightly short return, and I'm looking to jump on this ball. So again, I see that Ben's right here in the middle of the court because he's going to be trying to help Gabe, who's getting there a little bit late. And so I decided I'm going to try to kind of expose over to Ben's backhand. And I hit a pretty good drive. I hit the spot that I wanted. And you can see I've got Ben fully extended. Now, I would say a lot of players in this position would pop the ball up, right? Me and Blaine are charging in, even a little bit of a high ball, and we're going to be reaching in, taking that next ball out of the air and putting pressure on them. But he does such a good job being able to, at full extension, soften this, make it bounce. And now he kind of neutralizes that offense we're in, and then they're able to get into the point. So heck of a shot there.
I think we have a little something on the court. Blaine has it situated, and we're ready to play.
5-3-2. Side out.
Yeah, and you can see we're still working that same pattern. Blaine with a nice drive. I got into an offensive spot, but Ben just hit a good volley that stayed pretty low, and I really couldn't do a whole lot with it.
And if it doesn't always work out, stick with it.
Gabe with a couple of attacks, but I've now seen that he's going to be going at Blaine's right shoulder, so I was able to kind of get my backhand in the middle there a little bit and help kind of protect some of those.
Perfect center.
Yeah, it's just pressure dinking. Ben hitting really good dinks. Kind of got Blaine a little uncomfortable. He gets the ball slightly elevated, and his backhand roll is too good that's just probably not coming back at that point. Still like where we are, though. We're right in the teeth of this first game, so we're feeling pretty good. So you can see I'm talking to Blaine here. Let's go back and watch this one. See, after this point, I said something to Blaine. Basically, I know how difficult it is to be in front of Gabe. He's so tricky off the bounce. You can see like how he's disguising this so well. And so it's a lot of pressure to be this person in front of someone who attacks well. Blaine has to, he's thinking he has to cover both his forehand and the backhand. Last time, Gabe went under his right shoulder. So now this time, Gabe gets him down the line, and Blaine's got to kind of extend out there a little bit. And you can see where I'm at here, right in the middle of the court. So after this point, I actually told Blaine, I said, hey, like, I got your middle, just sit on the line, trying to get him to trust that if Gabe does come through the middle, I've got him covered. And that way Blaine knows that only thing he has to worry about is just cover his backhand. And you'll actually see that play out here in a couple points.
Nice spot for Tardio. Catches Blaine Hovenier off guard for a half second.
Yeah, that's the spot for Tardio to go fully line. Attacking Blaine Hovenier's body is not a great option.
So yeah, so that was the very next point. Same exact shot. You can see Gabe setting up this kind of off the bounce forehand, looking to be tricky with it. He went line last time on Blaine, so he's thinking he's going to switch the spot now. But you can see positioning wise, like how far over I am. I'm left foot on the center line, so I'm standing in the center of the court, basically trying to help Blaine out, kind of relieve some of that pressure of how much coverage responsibility he has. And so when Gabe speeds that up, that ball is basically going right at Blaine's right shoulder. I'm able to come over, help. And even though I can't hit it super hard, I'm able to just at least get the ball down into the court, which is all you need to do on a good counter. Just get it down, and Ben saves it, but not quite enough. It ends up going wide. So there's just a little kind of in-game tactical adjustment that you could see.
One of the best offensive players we have on tour. It's not your third, John.
Hovenier pouncing on a setup from Johnson Cola.
A pretty good counter there. It's tough in front of Ben. You don't know where he's going to go. I was a tad late on the forehand, but I just, again, found a way to kind of make it work and get it down. Yeah, I just left that one too high, a little too high in the transition there.
Foot of Hovenier in the transition zone. Hovenier was hoping for a forehand.
6-5-2.
I had a great first ball. I think I tried to be a little over aggressive with the second one. I was moving in. All I really needed to do was just kind of push it in, because we were in such a strong spot to begin with.
Point.
Nicola looking to find the youngster's body with the speed up off the bounce. Great counter attack from Gabe Tardio.
So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to kind of find Gabe's chicken wing across his body, but he's so good at staying way out in front and catching it early that the ball doesn't really have enough time to get fully across before he can kind of go over there and get it and redirect it middle. I think that could have worked if I would have gone maybe off speed and higher or off speed and lower. Because I kept it right at about hip height, it's a little easier to reach across and kind of poke that back.
6-1. Point.
Unforced error. Can't do that against these guys. Got to make the shots you're supposed to make.
From Tardio. I think Sincola changed his mind on where he wanted that first volley to go, and it cost him.
We're still tight here. We're at 7-6. We had a little bit of a lead. We let it slip, so we just decided to take a timeout, especially kind of an easy error like after I just made. You just got to kind of do a hard reset, forget about that, and move on. Okay, so we're back after the timeout.
Point.
Again, kind of the same. It's tough when you're at 6-all and you make basically 2 routine errors, like a little backhand dink for me, pretty simple volley for Blaine. You just can't do that and beat these top teams like that.
Ooh. Oh, Hovenier with a
Got away with that one a little bit. Probably an ill-advised speed up by me, but I was able to bail myself out, and then Blaine had a nice backhand after that. But yeah, we didn't really earn that one.
Everything with the backhand.
Ooh, had the opening, a sliver of it, and told himself he needs to make it.
I think that was probably a little too low to speed up. Probably a low percentage shot. That would have been a tough one to make.
Down it goes. Ben John's the best.
Yeah, so you could see that kind of what I was talking about earlier, that pattern from Ben. He's one of the best at knowing when he speeds up to a certain spot where the ball's likely to come back, and then he's just waiting for it there. So he knows when he hits this initial backhand attack here, he knows it's probably going to come back, but he's able to kind of stay loaded and stay ready to hit that second ball, which is key. So it's finding the first spot on the, on the initial attack and then staying ready to finish the second one.
Down it goes. Ben John's the best at that. Covers his body, throws it down at your feet for game point.
10-6-2.
So yeah, tough. We were right in there, 6-5, and just a couple loose points, loose errors, and now we're on the brink of dropping this first game.
This chance for Ben Johns.
We got a side out, so we got a chance to make a little something happen here.
Sincola.
6-10-1. Point.
Nice work.
Again, kind of same story. You can see the majority of our points were won in the transition area. We're having a tough time once we got to a neutral drinking rally, which is where we're trying to put a lot of pressure on.
Johns, the enforcer, throws it down.
And there's been a couple times now when Sincola is on the left.
All right, so 7-10, 7-10-2 here.
He has tried to take the third shot with his backhand. I would like to see him let that ball travel to Hovenier and find a forehand drive.
Sneaky play by Gabe.
I'd say another kind of unforced error there. The second half of the game, I think we probably just had too many unforced, which is really the difference. They cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh, right around the edge.
And again, another good shot from Ben there. He's very good at controlling pace so he can hit his spot. That ball was so low that he knew he wanted to have it on my right hip, but in order to hit that shot, you got to take a ton of pace off of it. So you really shape it by me. So that's a tough shot to execute. You can see how slow he hit it, and I'm looking to slide, but I just can't go that far with my backhand. So tough shot. That was just a little breakdown into kind of what we're thinking, strategy for this game. Unfortunately, second game wasn't quite as close. It was kind of close early, but then they pulled away towards the end. Fun match nonetheless. There was a great crowd there. Super fun tournament. So hope you learned something.